the trees were facing one direction or in many directions. And of course, they're going to look at just how wide this was. And sure enough, this was an EF1 tornado. That means those winds were estimated about 100 to 105 miles per hour. And again, thankfully, there were no serious injuries with this. And the Weather Service says this serves as a reminder of how important it is to be prepared.
This is a great example of why it's important to have multiple ways to receive those life-saving weather watches and warnings, and also to take them seriously, to take shelter whenever you receive them.
Now, the Witt family was downstairs. They were actually in the basement at the time, and they had a power outage. A surge protector caught on fire. They walked outdoors to find everything, and their backyard was completely just gone or knocked down. And so they've been spending the day cleaning up. I want to take you and show you our high resolution mapping right now and give you an idea on the perspective of this. Again, a lot of the damage was in and around the Karen Hills area that started out there. And again, you're going to see some green little arrows on there. Those are indicative of EF1 damage. And you can see that this did start there and around the Karen Hills area, made its way over towards Kimball there, and then eventually lifted. It kind of crossed the Roanoke River and lifted near Electric Road. Now again, you're going to see some of these blue arrows. Those are EF0 damage. Now the way this works is that not all of the damage is going to be EF1 or 100 to 105 miles per hour. What the Weather Service does is they look at sites such as like this. They're going to check out the damage and what it may have been ranked, and then they're going to put all those together and take the highest rating, and then that becomes the ranking of the tornado. Now, looking back through the history, it looks like this is the only tornado that has hit the Salem area since the 1974 tornado, 50 years ago this year, that touched down in Salem and then went into the Roanoke Valley. We had a documentary on that earlier this year.
It said on the news 1950s. Now we're saying 70s.
Sure, given the intensity of
Which
this
is it?
And the fact that it happened very quickly and yesterday over quite a large area here in a populated location. Again,
see how you get different stories.
Drive. Right now we're going to have a
they can't ever keep their story straight with nothing. They can't keep their story straight with nothing ever.
Including this EF1 tornado. Live in Salem, I'm Chief Meteorologist Brent Watts.
Powerful to see all the rubble there, just from where it came from.
I know, thankfully no one was hurt with 100+ mile-an-hour winds.
That's right. So we were able to speak with people who live on Riverside Drive and just experience that storm firsthand.
They say it's something they've never seen before. We saw the aerial view. Now we head to WDBJ7's Amir Massenberg, who saw some of the damage close up. Amir, what are you seeing?
Well, Melissa Jean, I'm here on Riverside Drive, and I'm just going to step out of the camera so you can see this big tree that just barely missed this house right here. Crews to my left are working to get the power back on, and a couple that lives right here to the left says that they've lived here for over 40 years and they've just never experienced anything like this before.
I'm thankful to God nobody was hurt.
The aftermath of an EF1 tornado, leaving people in Salem stunned, trees and power lines down, personal items destroyed.
I've never been through anything like this before. Never. And I hope to God I'll never do it again.
That's what it looked like. I know.
Her husband live on Riverside Drive. They were sitting in the living room watching TV when they started to get storm alerts.
Before you knew it, things were flying by the window, and that's when we grabbed the dogs and tried to race to the basement.
That's what we seen too.
Before she even got to her basement, the storm stopped.
5 minutes of damage. That's it.
5 minutes to destroy everything in their front and backyard, including their roof and windshield of their car, both needing to be replaced now.
You don't realize how much wind damage you can get. You really don't.
Every shed in Frederick Wilson's backyard smashed by trees.
And I come back and open up the back door and I just screamed.
Thankfully missing his home.
We're lucky it didn't hurt our house at all. We're safe and sound. You know, nothing here that's damaged that can't be replaced.
I've been through disasters before, but not like this, and it's going to take a while. I don't wish it on anybody. Nobody.
And like I said, crews are still working to get the power back on. There's still obviously a lot to clean up here. And, you know, thankfully everyone is safe. Live in Salem, Amir Massenberg, WDBJ7.
And we have more on what's left behind from that tornado in Salem.
Significant damage at
Shut the hell
Northview
up.
Apartments. That is where we go now to WDBJ7's Layla Mitchell, who spoke with people who live there. Layla, I'm sure this was a scary night. What are the folks saying? What does the damage look like there?
Yeah, Jean, so far I've seen a lot of residents walking around, cleaning up, picking up after themselves, and just trying to assess the damage. And just a few minutes ago, you could actually hear the rumblings behind me of crews walking through, using their leaf blowers and trying to make the area a little bit easier for residents to get in and out. But I'm going to take a step to the side so you can see behind me, there's still a lot of large damage, a lot of large down trees that are trapping cars and still trapping people from really being able to get in and out. The twister tore through the area of Northview Apartments, leaving a trail of destruction in its path. Now, homes and vehicles are battered, and down trees have trapped several cars, like I said, making it very difficult for some residents to leave. And residents I spoke to today told me they even saw the tornado as it was making its way to the area.
We saw like a cloud forming up in the sky, and we thought it was a tornado, so it was a tornado.
Yeah, we were off 460 when we saw the funnel kind of, and I was like, wow, that kind of looks like a tornado. And they were like, no, because you never hear about a tornado touching in Salem.
I know, that's what I said in my post this morning.
Today, they do seem like they're in pretty good spirits. You know, they're just happy that there wasn't worse damage and that there weren't a lot of people that were getting hurt today. Reporting in Salem, Layla Mitchell, WDBJ7.
All right, thank you, Layla. And as we have learned, the storm that hit Salem was officially an EF1 tornado.
On your screen, you can see more of that damage the storm caused. Trees uprooted. We've seen tons, too many to count, uprooted trees, roof damage. Look how huge that tree is. Last night's storms caused power outages throughout our hometowns, and we have an AEP outage map we can take a look at, and also maybe take a look at the interstate. Maybe we'll try to get a look at that AEP map. I can tell you more than 2,000 customers are without power. We saw it in the video a little bit ago in the live picture that Appalachian Power crews are out there trying to get power back on. 100,000 customers for them without power. They have called in outside crews to help restore that power.
Yeah, Jean, here's that map that you were telling folks about just a second ago. You said how many folks without power again?
I believe 2,000 customers in the counties in red. Appalachian Power says though 100,000 without power overall. So you can see where you are on that map.
100,000 people without power right now.
Outages throughout the region. AEP expects 90% of Virginians will have the power back on by 11 tomorrow night.
And obviously when you have that many power
11
outages,
tomorrow night, what the fuck?
That's what AEP has done to assist with these power outages. Make sure you stay up to date on the changing weather and
we gotta go without power till tomorrow at 11? That's bullshit.
On your screen.